Hey guys, today we are going to be finishing the KA, and if you are building a KA, I would highly recommend watching this video because I'm going to go over the ways that I've found are the cleanest and most simple and tucked ways of just routing everything on your KAT. So I don't want this video to be too long, even though it probably will be, so we'll just get into it because we got a lot to talk about.
So, I got stuff powder coated, and I tried to pick a color to closest match my floor mats, and it looks like a navy blue right now, but this is like a two-tone. Like when it's in direct sunlight it turns more of a purple, but when it's not in direct sunlight it was more like a navy blue. And it's not sunny out, so you won't really get to see the full effect, but when I do go like this, you can see it, and then I'll get some of the floor mat there, and you can see that there is like a blue in it too, so that works out really good. So yeah, I had my fuel rail done. This is a radium fuel rail, which I'll go over my fuel setup later, and then I also had my pulleys done along with my alternator pulley. But we're just going to get the valve cover on first. So I got the valve cover on, all new gaskets, and then if you're wondering what I'm using for hardware, these are M8 by 125 by 20. I got them on eBay. And then I also have an AN fitting for a catch can. This is a 3/8 NPT to a -8, and then down here I have a 1/2" NPT to -8 AN, because the boy that comes on here is a barbed fitting, and I didn't want to do that. I want everything to be AN, but this also has a valve in it, and you don't want that. And then I also got a new knock sensor, and then if we come down here, I have just this little T. I forgot what the thread pitch and stuff was, but I just moved my oil pressure sensor to right here, and then I'm going to put another oil pressure sensor here for my oil pressure gauge. And then I also decided that I want to run AC, so I cleaned all this up, and I'll put a clip in to show you how bad it was, but I just wrinkle blacked it. And then I'm actually really surprised how clean this came out, because it was really bad, and then I just wrinkle blacked the pulley as well. So I'm just going to toss this on right quick. So I was originally going to delete the AC because I just wanted to clean up the engine bay, but this year I didn't have AC in the Civic, and last year my AC didn't work in the BMW, but it still kinda did. So this was my first year of just having no AC, and it was terrible. And I mean, you won't even really be able to see it, and the lines, I'm sure I can clean up and make it look good, because I mean, you don't even notice that the AC lines in Adam LZ's Skyline. And also I'm working on the bay. It's almost all primered. I just had some stuff I had to fix right there, and then when I spot welded this out, I accidentally had a couple spots where I went through right here too, so I'm just cleaning that up, and then I had a spot right here that I'm cleaning up. But next video should be paint. I already have it, and I also have a gun, so this is my project in the meantime till next video. And I just really want this to just be like a really good all-around car, which means like being comfortable, so having heat, AC, not having solid bushings, but then like still doing everything really well. But yeah, I'm also not hyped on the distributor. I might try taking it apart again and using some like vinyl paint on this. Otherwise, I think they're only like $150 or something for a new one. So I might do that. And then pretty last second, I decided that I wanted to run an oil cooler. So I got all the stuff for that. This is a glow shift sandwich plate. I know, glow shift, and I hate this camera so much. I'm gonna get a new one. Actually, it's more so just the lens, but. So I have two dash 10s, both 90s, and then I have this dash 10 nylon hose that's gonna go to the Nishimoto oil cooler, and then I have two dash 1090s on there. This top port is plugged, and then I have down here, right here, I have a dash 4 that I kind of stripped a little bit. I think it's like a, I'm not even going to tell you what this is. It says on the Glow Shift website. But that's where I'm going to be getting my oil feed, and then I actually had to move this because it would have interfered with that, and it still might a little bit. And then how I plan to have the oil cooler set up, I want it like right about here or something, and then I'm going to put like a riv nut into right there, and then I'm going to get like a, I don't know, like a piece of like rubber tube or something to use as like a bushing, and then just like screw it in, and then it'll sit like a little bit higher up, so it's not touching anything. And then the radiator still fits. I kept the OEM one just for like mocking up purposes, or I don't know. I don't think I actually intended on getting an aftermarket radiator when I started the build. But yeah, there's a ton of room for activities, and then we can also like route the lines through there. And I plan on just having them come off the oil filter and then running like down here, or maybe like along the frame rail. I'm not sure, probably like up here, but there might be AC hard lines. So I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm also going to toss these pulleys on quick, and you might be able to see it a little better in here. I don't know, it's a really cool color. I just kind of wish that the purple was like the color that you see when it's not in sunlight, but like, yeah, if you look like down in between. Next, I want to go over my oil pan setup. So right here we have an excessive oil pan for a KA. I don't know if it matters if it's E or DE, but what this does is it lets you run an SR oil pan on it, because so you can get like the trapdoors and stuff. So this setup is, I think, like almost $700 just for my oil pan setup. So this comes with like a bung already in it. So I put a dash 10 AN fitting on that for my oil drain. And then this is a Circuit Sport SR20 oil pan. So I originally ordered the ISR SR oil pan, but when I got it, whoever shipped it, they dropped it because there was a little hole in the box, and then like the weld broke, and then the metal like pushed in, so there's a hole in it. So I sent it back to Injuku, and because they didn't have any more in stock, they just gave me the Circuit Sport one, which is like $50 more. But like the ISR one was nice, but like this is way nicer. Like those welds look so good. Just like the whole thing. So yeah, it has the baffling with the trapdoors, so it keeps oil in the middle, because like when you're sliding around, this also adds like extra oil capacity, so you just have more oil, so you don't have to worry as much about oil starvation. And I mean, really, I didn't have to do this, but you know, like, I could just welded a bung into the stock one, but I figured I might as well play it safe because I'm spending all this money on the engine and I don't want to like starve it of oil and then rod knock and all that not fun stuff. So yeah, this is the only option for an oil pan for the KA that isn't the stock one. You have to run this if you want to run the SR one. I forget the exact prices. The SR oil pan was like $250 and this was like almost $400, I think. So yeah, I'm going to put it all together, put it on the bottom, and we'll move on to more stuff. Well, that was a nightmare. That took forever and it was really hard to get up and it's bad, but we have one problem. That hole doesn't line up. I don't think it's Circuit Sports' fault. I think that Excessive put the hole in the wrong spot. It's just like a little bit off. Like if I took a Dremel and like I just like ovaled it out a little bit, I could get it in there. Right now it's just like loosely tightened so the RTV can cure, and then later on I'll torque it all down. Right here we have a bung for an oil temp sensor, which I'm going to use, and then here I have an ISR magnetic drain plug. But unfortunately I ran out of time for today, so I'm going to have to pick this video up in a couple days and then we definitely will be able to finish it. So here's my intake manifold, or the upper half of it. I got radium injector seat buoys. I also had this powder coated, which is cool because it also like matches my oil pan, and then like I wrinkle blacked this and just some other things, accents that I have too. It matches. I have a coolant. One of these this is the coolant temp sensor. When I went to go take it out before, it like rounded off and then I had to drill it out and then use an extractor to get it out. And then under here I did a really clean PCV delete. There used to be like what are they called? It used to have barbs coming out of here that went into this. What I did was I drilled this out. I forgot what size drill bit I did, but I drilled out and tapped it. This is a 8mm 1 1/4. So that's the thread I used for these Allen heads, and then I just used thread lock and RTV on the underside of the head just so it doesn't leak, and it turned out really clean. So I don't know, I think this looks a lot better than just like a cap over it. And then here is the bottom half of my intake manifold. I completely redid everything. So yeah, I don't know where to even start. I guess we'll go over here. I have the EGR delete, ISR. I repainted my throttle body and that was like masked off in there, so that looks a lot nicer like that. What else? I painted my cold start valve. I don't remember which one is which, but I painted those. I got all new hoses for all of this. You know, I repainted all that. There's a lot of vacuum hard lines, which I might put a picture up. Because I deleted all that. I deleted all of the stuff that was related to that, so I just shaved it all. Actually, down here is where it is. So this is where one of my coolant lines for my turbo is going to go. There was a lot of hard lines through there. Realistically, I probably could have just like cut it right there and then just, not done that, but I don't know, because I could have just used this, but then would have had to do like a hard 90, so I just left it how it is. And then right here, where my heater core hoses go, I just ordered those, but I don't have them yet. And I also I have a ton of this loom. I bought a ton of it so that I can, tuck up all my wires and stuff. I don't know if I said, but I accidentally broke my knock sensor, so I had to get a new one. Those are kind of expensive, and then I have that all done like that.
Hey, did you find?
Here I have one of my lines for my catch can. I don't have a fitting on it yet because I don't know where I'm going to put the catch can. I also put this heat wrap here just because it was like touching this, and I just don't really like metal touching metal like that. So I have that tightened down, and now I'm going to just put the intake manifold on. Because I have to take this back off again, because I'm going to be tucking my harness, and I still have to go through all of that and delete things and extend wires and stuff. I still have to get some extra wires out of a parts car. So I'm not going to gasket this up. I'm just going to set it on for now and just test it to show you guys how it'll look and how it goes on, how everything gets routed. So here it is with the manifold on. Here's the other line for the catch can. I think I used, okay, so I did for this, I got a 3/8 drill bit, drilled it out, and then I got a 3/8 to -8 fitting, and then I just threaded that in. I didn't even need to tap it. This cap that I have on the end of my fuel rail, they hit, so I have to get a cap that's recessed in a little bit with an Allen head or something. And then we just got a -8 90 to -8 nylon braided line, and this will connect somewhere up to my fuel lines. I got a Chase Bays AN fuel line conversion, so that comes with the fuel filter and then the lines to hook it up. I'm going to be running a returnless system, so that's why it's capped. So the fuel pressure regulator is going to go before the fuel rail. And then I thought this was really cool. This is a Tomei oil cap. It's kind of rice, and it does stick up kind of a bit. Normally I guess you would put one of these on an SR, and then this comes up higher on an SR. But I don't know, I think it's cool because my whole head is Tomei. So I have my coil packs and wires all put up right now. I don't know if this is how I'm going to leave it. This is going to be pretty close to the turbo manifold, and I don't really want it to get melted, but that's pretty clean. Then we come over here, and this is my turbo manifold. This is an ISR bottom mount. I had it ceramic coated inside and out, and then on top of that I also heat wrapped it. Now with the ceramic coating is way better than the wrap on its own. They say at least a 50% drop in temperatures just with the ceramic coating alone, and I just wrapped it anyway just to keep the surface temperature down, just because I really don't want any heat problems in my engine bay. And then I also got my turbo elbow coated inside and out. This isn't just a paint, this is actual ceramic coating. This is a ISR turbo elbow O2 housing. I haven't wrapped this yet because I need to put another bung in for my wideband sensor. And then I also had my exhaust housing on my turbo coated as well. And then here's my ISR downpipe. This is a 3-inch SR downpipe for an S14. I did a video on this last year. I wanted to wrap this, but the problem that people have with heat wrap is it like soaks in moisture and then it like holds it to the metal and corrodes it. But the only time that your exhaust is like gonna get wet is if you're driving in the rain, and your exhaust is gonna be hot, so it's just gonna burn that moisture off. But like the one place I guess where like it would matter is on like your turbo manifold, because I'm gonna have a vented hood, so if my car's just sitting in the rain, this will get wet when the car's not on. But I don't know, we'll see. So for this would have been really expensive to coat, so I just used, I don't know. So this is what I used. It's a ceramic coating, but I mean it's nowhere as good as like the real stuff, but I just used this just to like seal the downpipe so that like if any moisture did get on it, like wouldn't actually be able to contact the metal. So yeah, then I wrapped it, and then I also used this. This is like a sealer, so the wrap doesn't soak water into it. So I sprayed it on this, and then I'm still waiting to get a bung put on to wrap this. And then I didn't really want to do it to this because I thought that this looks a little bit better than like this. And I mean, you can hear like this is like silky, but then this is like dry and smooth. But I mean, and then for my oil drain, this is a -10, and I think I have -6s for my coolant on both sides, and then I have a -4 for my oil feed. So if you were wondering, now I'm going to toss this all together and gasket it. So I got the turbo manifold and turbo all mounted up, and then I also got my oil and coolant lines, so, and my turbo blanket on. Not really sure how this goes on, and honestly I think my housing is too big, but this is an ISR turbo blanket for T25, T28. Here is my coolant. I forgot if this is the inlet or the outlet. Then my oil line's up there, and so I wasn't originally gonna run AC, so how I had this routed was like over the engine mount and up, but can't do that because that's in the way. So I'm gonna have to get a -10 just straight fitting, and then probably make the line longer so it can just go straight up into the drain. So that's something I'll do eventually. And yeah, so the oil drain is supposed to be a -10, so if you're wondering. And then I also got my ISR engine mounts on. These were like $80, and I'm kind of regretting not getting like Nismo ones, because Jimmy Oaks had these. These are also for the SR, and they like rattled really bad. Well, I don't know, they just didn't dampen the vibrations a lot, which I don't know if I'll like or not, but his like actually rattled loose and then came off. So hopefully that doesn't happen to me. And yeah, it looks really good with the wrap. I'm actually glad that I didn't make it black. And then this is how I have it around the back. This line isn't even really close to the turbo elbow, plus this will be wrapped all down here. Okay, so here's the oil feed. It goes around. And then it comes in there. And then it goes down after the oil sending unit. And then it comes down and then goes into a 90 and then into this thing that I forgot what it was. And then for my coolant, these two or these are coolant. So how I have this one, you're supposed to have it clocked 20 degrees. You're supposed to have it clocked like 20 degrees like this, and then this is supposed to be your feed and the drain is supposed to be on that side, but like there's like nowhere to really do it unless I did like a straight fitting and then had it like bend all out. So I don't think it's really going to be that big of a deal. It's just what Garrett recommends. So I think this is my drain and my feed's down there. But anyway, so this coolant line goes around and then it comes in, goes around, comes under the intercooler piping, and then right in here, and then right up into here. And this is what I was saying before about I could have just deleted this all the way back there and then had the coolant line back there, but I don't know, I just leave it like this. Nice. Anywhere that like something was touching and I didn't want to like rub through, I just put heat wrap on it. Not heat wrap, but this stuff. And then for this one, I routed it around, up, around, and then into right here. I believe this is supposed to be for a heater core hose, which I ordered and should be here next week. So that's why I haven't like buttoned anything up. And now you can really see the color. Yeah, you can see the flake in the video. I'm actually kind of surprised. You can also get like a really good, yeah, there you go. You can see all the purples and the blue in it. It looks really good. So the engine is pretty much back together. The only thing left to do is just the clutch, and I don't know that I'm going to do that in this video. Just because I am waiting for a couple little things for the intake manifold, and then after that, like I can actually like bolt it up, and I kind of need it bolted up to get it off the stand, so I can like put the ratchet straps around the manifolds and pull it off. And then I have a tire over there that I'll set it in, and then we can do the clutch. So I actually might do that later.